win now. I was told Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel one of those two are going to be the starters. I was told this a long time ago by somebody in the building.
Hold up. Did you just hear what I heard? A Browns wide receiver just dropped a bomb that has Kenny Pickett sweating bullets and the entire Cleveland organization in panic mode. Word is spreading through NFL circles like wildfire. Shedeur Sanders, the four-year college starter who was supposed to be the future, might not even be the Week 1 starter. Instead, they're seriously considering Kenny Pickett, a guy who couldn't even hold down Pittsburgh's starting job. But here's the kicker. This decision might reveal something shocking about what's really happening behind closed doors in Cleveland. And it involves coach Kevin Stefanski fighting for his job in ways you never imagined. What's good, football family? You know I always come at you with the real inside scoop. And today we're diving deep into some Cleveland Browns drama that has everyone talking. We're talking about a quarterback battle that's about to expose everything, and I mean everything, about what's really going on in that organization. So check this out. We got insider information flowing straight from the facility, and let me tell you, this ain't your typical training camp competition. This is about survival, politics, and a coach who might be making decisions based on pure desperation rather than what's best for the franchise. Here's what we know, and this is coming straight from people inside that building. Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel, one of those two cats is going to be your Week 1 starter. Not Shedeur Sanders, not Joe Flacco. And that right there should tell you everything you need to know about the pressure Kevin Stefanski is feeling right now. Let me break this down for you, because this is where it gets really spicy. When you got a coach choosing Kenny Pickett over a four-year college starter like Shedeur Sanders, that's not about talent evaluation. That's about job security. Think about it. If Stefanski starts Shedeur and the kid struggles, which let's be honest, most rookies do, who gets the blame? The coach who threw a rookie to the wolves, that's who. But if he starts Kenny Pickett, well, now he's got a built-in excuse. Hey, I went with the veteran. I went with the guy who has NFL experience. It's the safe play, the political play, the save my job play. And here's the thing that's got me fired up about this whole situation. We're watching history repeat itself in the most tragic way possible. You want to know what happens to Browns quarterbacks who start Week 1? They don't finish the season as starters. We're talking about a curse at this point. Baker Mayfield started Week 1, didn't finish as the starter. Deshaun Watson started Week 1, didn't finish as the starter. We're talking about multiple seasons of this exact same pattern, and now they're about to potentially throw another young quarterback into that meat grinder. But wait, it gets even crazier. The analytics on this are insane. You want to know when? The last league MVP started Week 1 of his rookie season? 2016, Matt Ryan. Think about that for a second. Patrick Mahomes didn't start Week 1. Josh Allen didn't start Week 1. Lamar Jackson didn't start Week 1. Even Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre, the greatest coach of all time, Andy Reid. Literally said he doesn't like starting rookie quarterbacks Week 1. This isn't some random opinion. This is coming from the man who developed Patrick Mahomes into what he is today. Why is Cleveland even considering rushing Shedeur Sanders into action? Because they're desperate. Because they're thinking short-term instead of long-term. Because they got a coach who might be coaching for his job rather than coaching for the future of the franchise.
Put him out there in that game, but I do not mind Kenny Pickett going out there first with him being young and giving him the key.
You know what I was thinking? I don't know if you can see what Shedeur has if you start him Week 1. It's counterintuitive, but the reason I say that is if you start Shedeur Week 1, you don't know yet, James, how bad the Browns are without Shedeur, because you've never seen the Browns without Shedeur. So if Shedeur's the starter and the Browns start 0-4, everybody sucks. Y'all all suck. Njoku, you suck. Jerry Jeudy, you suck. Shedeur, you suck. Offensive line, you suck. Everybody sucks. But if you start the Browns without Shedeur, and all of a sudden they're 0-4, then Shedeur comes in and the Browns proceed to win 2 of their next 3 games.
Now here's where this gets really interesting. And this is the part that had me rewinding the tape multiple times. The word from inside that building is that if Kenny Pickett starts, that means Stefanski feels like his job is on the line. But if Shedeur starts, he's got some leeway to develop the kid. Do y'all see what's happening here? This is chess, not checkers. Stefanski knows that if he goes with Kenny Pickett and they struggle, the narrative becomes, well, Kenny Pickett just isn't that guy. But if he goes with Shedeur and they struggle, the narrative becomes Stefanski ruined another young quarterback. The pressure is real. This is a coach who led the Browns to their first playoff appearance since 2007 with Baker Mayfield. This is a coach who took Joe Flacco, and led that team to the playoffs just 2 years ago, winning 4 of their last 5 games. So when this man is making decisions based on job security rather than player development, you know the heat is on. But here's what's really wild about this whole situation. Shedeur Sanders is sitting there with 4 years of college starting experience. For years. This ain't some kid who came out early. This ain't some project quarterback. This is a dude who has been running offenses, making reads, dealing with pressure for 4 straight years at the highest level of college football. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett couldn't even hold down the starting job in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, a franchise known for developing quarterbacks, for being patient with their signal callers. And they said, nah, we good on Kenny Pickett. So what does that tell you about Cleveland's confidence level right now? What does that tell you about their desperation? And let's talk about the elephant in the room, the offensive line situation. You know what happens to Browns quarterbacks when that line can't protect them? They get destroyed. They get benched. They get injured. They get their confidence shattered. The track record speaks for itself. These past 5 years, if you start week 1 as a Browns quarterback, you're not finishing the season as the starter. Not because of talent, not because of ability, but because the infrastructure isn't there to support success. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. There's this whole theory about letting quarterbacks learn from failure, about seeing how bad the team is without them so you can really evaluate their impact when they do get in there. Think about Drake May with the Patriots. Dude went 3-9, but we're all talking about him like he had this amazing rookie season. Why? Because we saw how terrible the Patriots were without Drake May. So when he came in and started winning games, the narrative became, oh, this kid is special. If Shedeur starts week 1 and they go 0-4, everyone looks bad. But if Kenny Pickett starts, they go 0-4, and then Shedeur comes in and wins 2 of the next 3, now we're talking about a savior narrative. Now we're talking about a kid who can actually make a difference. But here's the flip side of that coin, and this is where it gets really psychological. When you start a young quarterback and then pull him, you're messing with his confidence. You're messing with his development. You're potentially creating long-term damage for short-term political cover. Every player, no matter how mentally tough they are, starts to doubt themselves when they get benched. Am I good enough? Why did they pull me? What am I doing wrong? That self-doubt can be poison for a young quarterback trying to establish himself in this league. The practice situation is another nightmare. How do you give 4 quarterbacks meaningful reps? You got maybe 12 plays in 7-on-7, 12 plays in team periods, and then you're trying to split that between 4 different guys? It's impossible to properly evaluate anyone under those circumstances. But here's what really has me scratching my head about this whole situation. Kenny Pickett is 26 years old. He's still young. He was a first-round pick. Cleveland traded just a 5th-round pick to get him. If he goes out there and plays well, that's a massive win for the organization. The comparison to Sam Darnold is actually pretty interesting. Darnold bounced around, found the right system with the right coach, and started playing some of the best football of his career. Could Kenny Pickett be the next reclamation project? Could Kevin Stefanski be the coach who finally unlocks whatever potential made Pittsburgh draft this dude in the 1st round? Here's the thing though, there's a difference between developing a young quarterback and trying to save your job with a quick fix. The question is, which one is Stefanski really doing here? Because if you're really thinking about the future of this franchise, if you're really thinking about building something sustainable, then Shedeur Sanders should be getting every available rep. He should be learning the system, developing chemistry with his receivers, getting comfortable with the speed of the NFL game. But if you're thinking about surviving the next 8 weeks, then yeah, Kenny Pickett makes sense. He knows how to play in this league. He's not going to look completely lost out there. He might even steal you a game or 2. The real question is, what's the ceiling here? With Kenny Pickett, you probably know what you're getting. With Shedeur Sanders, you're talking about unknown potential, unknown upside, unknown ability to grow and develop within this system. And let's not forget about Dillon Gabriel in all this. 3rd-round pick, guy who won games everywhere he went. Oregon, Oklahoma, UCF. This dude has been a winner at every stop. But he's smaller, he's more of a project, and in a quarterback room this crowded, how do you even begin to evaluate what he brings to the table? The whole situation is a perfect storm of desperation, politics, and organizational dysfunction. You got a coach fighting for his job, a rookie quarterback who should be the future, a veteran trying to resurrect his career, and another rookie trying to prove he belongs. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. Training camp is in full swing. Preseason games are coming fast. And pretty soon, all these theoretical discussions are going to become very real, very public decisions that will define careers and potentially cost jobs. But here's my take on the whole thing. If you're Cleveland, you can't afford to waste another year. You can't afford to make another mistake at the quarterback position. You can't afford to prioritize short-term thinking over long-term success. But the pressure is real. The expectations are there. And sometimes, when you're coaching for your job, you make decisions that protect yourself rather than protect the future of the franchise. So what do you think? Is Kenny Pickett really the answer for Cleveland? Is Stefanski making the right call by potentially starting a veteran over a four-year college starter? Or is this just another example of the Browns overthinking their way into another disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you Team Kenny Pickett, Team Shedeur Sanders? Or are you convinced this whole thing is going to blow up regardless of who starts week 1? And while you're down there, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're going to be all over this story as it develops. The Browns quarterback situation is about to get very interesting, and you know we're going to have all the inside details as this drama unfolds. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. This quarterback battle is just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.